Welcome back to Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. So after activating, at least partially, the mechanism of the baths, as I mentioned, we now have to get to the sword.
But of
To
course.
Eved was shown. Basically, at the start when we got to this room, a sword, was shown, and that will help us get to progress further into the game. But we need to reach it, and it's above ground, so we kind of need to use the acrobatic nature of a prince. So the problem is we need to find the way to start climbing, and thankfully, again, this is where the fixed camera comes into play, because again, it helps you see in the environment from a different perspective and help you know where you're going. Go ahead, Vips.
Okay, basically, we're commentating on this post Ubisoft's E3 conference, and
2017.
yeah, the 2017 one. And the most amazing thing happened. We only cringed once throughout the entire conference.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, in mid of cringing, I was still entertained by that Just Dance because they actually fought outside the box on it. Okay, yes!
Painfully short.
Basically, to summarize, folks, Ubisoft gave it a great E3, and also it looks like that new Assassin's Creed game is actually mixing things up. I know, right? Apparently that new Assassin's Creed game is going to go back to its roots with Assassin's Creed 2 in mixing stuff up.
Shouldn't it be more its branches? Because roots means it's back to one.
Let's be honest, Wibbs. A lot of the roots of what people actually like with Assassin's Creed starts with Assassin's Creed 2. No offense to Assassin's Creed 1, but it's like comparing Sonic 1 to Sonic 2.
Or Watch Dogs 1 to Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
Not that big a difference because Watch Dogs 1 is crap, but yeah.
Well, Joe, to be perfectly honest,
two's good.
Even the first.
I know. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like, well, the gap between Watch Dogs 1 and 2 is even greater because Watch Dogs 2 is pretty good and great. Whereas
yeah, I mean, how helpful for the biggest improvement to me. I haven't played 1, admittedly. I have seen bits and pieces of it, but I've played a bit of 2, and the most amazing thing is that the protagonist isn't a big wooden plank this time.
What a shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, now Assassin's Creed Origins is going to apparently when the actual Assassin's Creed was made. For a guy who truly wants what Assassins originally fought for and lost sight of. Freedom. And apparently his companion, the Eagle, is the inspiration for the Eagle being a symbol of the Assassins. Go figure.
I actually wonder again how the Templar will fit in all of this.
But does this mean that we're gonna get the we're still gonna get the stupid crane version of that thing?
Well, we haven't seen any of that yet, so I'm hoping not. Also, there's actually a level up system in that game.
Yeah, if you recall, the gear give you like stuff.
Also, turns out I was right when I thought that was Gerard that we saw during the Ubisoft conference in the front row.
There we go.
For those who don't know, Gerard's the completionist.
Stay there.
Don't worry about me.
Yeah.
I'm a smart enough AI partner.
Thank God. But yeah, basically now we push that block, which actually went back to the baths where we were before, because actually we need to use it to climb back up there. So basically now we need to do is go here, get the block, and push it somewhere else. And look at that! This is gonna be the start of many bugs and glitches around there. Apparently they forgot the texture of a block now. Or it's too dark or something.
Okay. Yeah, you can tell there's no texture there.
And yet, this is
still... there is, but it's extremely dark. It's like we forgot how to balance the lightning. And the second boy will go away as soon as I push it, so clearly it was something situational. And at the beginning I thought, oh, just because it was wet. No, but apparently no. There you go.
Yeah.
Thankfully for the bugs are not that limited. They are not that much. I mean, They're like, I think there's only this one and one after this later on, which will still be glorious to see anyway. But the biggest one will actually come with the two thrones. A big surprise. Oh, sorry, not two thrones. Warrior Within. A big surprise.
Although, let's be quite honest to you, all those will pale in comparison when we get to Assassin's Creed Unity.
Ugh. It's like Ubisoft doesn't know how to polish things.
In Unity, you can regularly see the inside of people's heads with floating eyeballs and teeth.
No, despite countless patches.
Yeah, that bad. Then again,
This remind me a bit of.
Then again, we have to remember, guys, this is the same company that gave us Abort Tetris on PS4.
Go ahead, Pedro.
Go
Remind
on.
me a bit of that lighting engine fail we got in Rise of Lyric.
Yeah, but this one was weird because it actually regarded just the texture of a simple block. I mean, I didn't even thought it would have been possible to do that.
Yeah, I mean, how exactly does the lighting engine fail on one particular object, but not on anything else? How does the programming for that even work exactly?
I have no idea.
All right, what I need to do now, actually, there you go. It's to but because I forgot, I don't remember. What I need to do is actually to. No, I thought I was supposed to jump on the chain, but clearly not. What I need to do is to go on the extreme on that balcony, right? Not jump completely on, just getting attached to it. Get to a bit more, then jump on the pipe in order to swing around it. There you go. There we go.
All right.
Now I think the sword is like in the next room or something. Yeah, there you go. I just need to climb up and using the pipe here, I should be done.
All right.
Come on.
Just a little
Jim,
steering here,
are you
shimmy.
Knuckles at Sonic Heroes now? All right.
Alright, I forgot about this. Yeah, there's first a room with a trap, with a door and activated by a plate and a trap. Yeah, again, the key to avoid these traps is actually to dodge roll under it. And when we have another room with enemies. Again, as I mentioned, the buffs introduce these guys with a chain. They're not particularly nasty, but much like with the rest of enemies, they try to attack you if you spend too much time attacking with a normal attack.
Ah, well, look at that. Look at that. Enemies actually think to attack you all together as opposed to one by one.
But they can block your attack if you do the jump attack behind them. So still watch out for them. However, they can also do a sweep move with the chains and can potentially knock you off the ground And the prince is there you go, like that. And the prince is extremely vulnerable when he's on the ground. So you actually need to watch out for these moves because the prince cannot parry them, and if he's on the ground, he's extremely vulnerable. So basically, it's a constant ballet of dodging movements or parry them at the right time. And thankfully, again, due to the way how you can dispose for now enemies that quicker, it doesn't become a chore at the fact that there are too many enemies, but later on, it becomes instead a bit of an annoyance. Because you get swarmed and just swarmed by countless enemies in almost every single room. The good news is that each time you clear a room, you create a save point, so the game doesn't starve on checkpoints, but getting to them, it's like another way of saying. Thankfully, again, this gets improved in later games. So, you were saying something, Dave?
No. I was just saying okay.
So, I might as well ask you, Dave.
Yeah?
Do you, aside before thing, what was your experience with Ubisoft games?
Do you mean other than Watch Dogs 2?
Yeah, in general, what do you started with when you remember being published by Ubisoft?
Well, I played Assassin's Creed 1 for like 5 minutes.
Oh! You started off with Assassin's Creed
No,
1.
sorry. 2. Assassin's Creed 2, sorry.
Ah, how'd you like it?
It wasn't really grabbing me, so I just gave up. Other than that, I can't really say for sure what other Ubisoft games I've played.
I will say this, for as much as we like to rag on Assassin's Creed 1, I do recommend that you play the Assassin's Creed games in order to maximize your enjoyment, especially of the 2 trilogy. 2 expands on a lot of the stuff established in the first Assassin's Creed game. And seeing how the first Assassin's Creed game likes to play Metroidvania with your items, well, yeah, I guess you could consider that a good tutorial.
Well, to be honest, Jeff, I'm not exactly big on Metroidvania.
What I mean is that
either.
basically they take away your weapons, which you get back one by one. So it's sort of, think of it like a gradual tutorial.
Maybe someday, but for now, I'm perfectly happy with games I'm currently playing at the moment.
No problem.
Speaking of Ubisoft games, Pedro, when are you going to get around to doing Watch Dogs?
Eventually, I guess.
Yeah, because I forgot. Didn't you say that the cutscenes in the first game had some weird filter effect that
Yes.
the second one doesn't have?
Pips, I swear to you, the first time I saw that car crash scene, I genuinely thought there was something wrong. Like maybe I'm watching, maybe I'm playing, maybe my TV or my HDMI cable is crapping out. Maybe my copy is terrible. Like I genuinely, I rebooted the game, I rebooted the console. Wait a minute. And then I even tried out other games to see if they were doing the same thing, and they weren't. I generally was all like, guys, there's something wrong with the cutscenes in my game, like in my copy of the game. Like them, and like they have this weird filter during the car crashing. No, actually, that's how it's supposed to be. Wait, what? So basically, you have this dramatic. Don't worry what I'm talking about. This happens literally in the first 5 minutes of the game, so it's not a spoiler.
Think of this like your reminder, folks. While we were very impressed with Ubisoft C3, they still have a long ways to go.
Yeah,
All right, go on, Paige.
The thing is, what happened? Like seriously, you're watching this dramatic car scene of when the protagonist's sister or brother or whatever it was, I forgot, was killed, and then you have these weird black filter things that distract you completely from what's going on. Who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
The director of that game, of course.
Alright, we acquired basically this new sword, which is traditional scimitar and everything. Obviously this sword is actually more powerful, so you can actually dispose much quicker your enemies, thank goodness for that. Which will be also a staple of the franchise, for now on, finding weapons later on. But it can also destroy weaker barriers and walls like that. So this allows you to get back to fair quickly. However, as you can see, you can also use that to spot potentially hidden fountains. In fact, from now on, I think all the other remaining fountains will be found this way.
Yay.
Huh.
Anyway, what about you, Jova? What's your experience with Ubisoft?
Well, let's see. I'm trying to remember if it was before or after we started this commentary show back in 2014. But around the times of 2014, I started looking into the Assassin's Creed franchise, especially with the likes of Black Flag on the horizon.
Well, I mean Ubisoft in general, Jova.
You do have the strength.
Okay, I'll be quite honest, I didn't really know that much about Ubisoft except for Assassin's Creed.
In case you're wondering, that name, Rastani, is the name of a traditional Persian folkloric hero. Think about Persian Hercules. I had been in and out with the Prince of Persia series. In fact, the first thing I ever came across Prince of Persia was actually a graphic novel, which I had no idea was established with the franchise. But yeah, I heard about the 2008 game. It looked interesting. Never got around to playing it. And then after that is when I eventually got into the Assassin's Creed bit in 2014.
Oh, but by the way, guys, do you know Ubisoft published the Charlie's Angels game?
Oh God, why?
Oh, wow.
I know Ubisoft published terrible games, trust me. I know, but this one...
Oh, that's right. I was definitely there when the fiasco of Rayman Legends went down. That was... Ugh. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and of course there was Zombie U, which, hey, big surprise, still sold the most on the Wii U despite them releasing it for other consoles.
Oh, that was because it was
Wait,
built
Zombie U was
specifically.
released on others?
Yeah,
It's
it
just
was
called
just
Zombie.
Zombie. And it was released on
Uh-huh.
PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Didn't sell that well
Surprise!
outside them.
Due to not the lack of a gamepad, it completely lacked the function that it was built for the Wii U, so no one pretty much cared about it. What a surprise!
Yeah.
Was the game even that good?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It
interesting
was received
mechanic.
very
It
well.
wasn't spectacular. It was basically zombie outbreak in London, and the gimmick of it was that if you died, you didn't just respawn with all your gears. That character become actual zombie mob with all your levels and gears. If you want your stuff back, you need to destroy him. But if you were a level higher when you died, he will be that powerful. So you can create potentially unwinnable situations unwillingly.
Yeah, basically, Zombie U was a neat concept, but had the it was a Wii U launch title.
But it's the thing. Even the Wii U only took a while before people decided not to buy it and everything. Zombie U being a launch title, it should have technically sold like Red Steel, another Ubisoft published title, as a launch title for the Wii, did.
And yet, for some reason, Ubisoft thought, no, it didn't sell well enough, so let's put the pressure on for Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends, and the rest is history with that crap show.
Yeah.
Seriously, Ubisoft, not cool.
Well, again, I mean, I'm hoping that their recent E3. I'm hoping that the recent E3 conference is a sign of better things to come.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, the recent Ubisoft E3 conference definitely gave me hope. However, I'm not going to, step in this completely until we see some results here.
Yeah, I understand.
It's the same thing for me in terms of the DCU, in the sense that, yeah, Wonder Woman was amazing and I loved it, but they still have to prove that it wasn't a fluke.
Yeah, I mean, well, they've got Justice League coming up, but I'm anticipating it not being that great. Although to be fair, I'm also aware that the circumstances in that case were completely beyond their control. Also, what's with that constant?
It's the scarabs. When they're around, they produce that.
I thought it was a glitch.
No, the thing is, the way level works for this particular level works in general for these puzzles is that they need to be in the direction of the door you want to open for some reason. You can't just rotate them casually. So I didn't understood that at first. There you go. Scarab solved. But if I recall, they're actually a bit forward. But first, I need to open this crack for Fair to get in. Now, at first I thought there was going to be a puzzle and you just needed to jump, but no, apparently that's not a good idea, because as it turns out, you need to wait for Farah to come back on the other side and step on the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I gotta get out. Oh, you already crossed it. Did you? Oh, or aren't you?
There she is.
So, speaking of E3, did anyone catch the cool dance-off between Crash and Sonic?
A bit of it.
Don't step on the Nintendo Switch.
I can't believe that we actually have the return of the Crash guy in the suit.
All that was missing was someone in a Bubsy costume.
I don't recall us ever having a Bubsy cartoon in the 90s, but I do remember the guy in the Crash in the 90s.
Well, there was Joe, but there was that pilot.
Pilot.
Oh.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
They dragged Rob Paulson into this.
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse, dragging Rob Paulson or dragging Manny Manella.
It's really hard to decide. Rob Paulson's goes for the high, squeaky, insane voice, which are really great on your nose. Manny Manella's at the very least sounds like the tomboyish sort, which is obviously
Yeah,
sounding
but
like
it's
a boy,
extremely annoying to listen to.
Well, and it doesn't help
I
that
blame
it's...
that on the direction though, because Lana Manella's already proven that she can do great stuff in the Lytton series.
Yeah.
Luke aside, obviously.
Yeah. Also, hey guys, do you know what would be a brilliant idea for 3D? Make the European version have no save feature.
So that's why it's... So that's why it doesn't
Still
have the...
holding on that, James, aren't you?
So that's why it doesn't have the fake Gold X award. Because they
Yeah,
got rid
It's
of
actually
it.
safe.
They took it away.
Yeah. Gotta say, accolade for some of the most scummiest companies actually trying to come up with a fake award just to make the game try and sell well.
Accolade are kinda sort of back, sort of.
Revived by a Hong Kong
China.
company, whose motto is, "We bring back game franchises that you care about."
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
Also,
Sure.
another bit of trivia, might as well. You can actually be hit and stunned by Farah's arrows. Very splendidly fired in this game. So it's not. Thankfully, it's the way the frequency she shoots and the aim where she shoots. She's not that inclined to shoot you. However, it can happen. So still watch out in the direction, and at the same time, watch out for her to not be swarmed by enemies, because I will show. I think in this particular fight, she actually can get killed if you don't care enough about her. Go ahead, Williams, you were saying.
Nah. All I was gonna say was, the whole Bubsy U, the accolade thing.
Bubsy U for the Wii U.
Bubsy U.
That game's coming on PC and PS4. I swear to God, if there's an online crossplay co-op feature, I guess
How
that means...
can you even do that?
Yeah, because me doing 3D wasn't enough. Now I'm gonna do
There you go.
the 2D revival.
Hey, at
She's
least you aren't
dead,
doing...
Jim.
hey, at least you don't have to do Bubsy for the Atari Jaguar. That's apparently my burden to bear.
Are we doing like 2 games each of that series or something?
Well, 3. I mean, I go, who's gonna do 1 and 2?
Not me.
Yep.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't want to have to do 3 games of that godforsaken franchise.
I'm already doing 2. I think that's more than enough.
We'll see.
Only if I can get those 2 for free. I'm gonna have to use an emulator either way for the Atari Jaguar game.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, if by the point we decide to record the Bubsy games, if I can somehow find did the Bubsy game for the Jaguar even come out around here?
Yeah,
I think so. I'll check.
Actually, no, it didn't. So even if I did have a Jaguar, I couldn't do it.
Oh, and let's not forget the handheld Bubsy game.
If I get a Jaguar, how am I supposed to keep it in good condition, because it doesn't have a flap for the console, for the cartridge port?
Yeah, it was released only in America. Dwibs is right. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean the console itself got a European release.
Yeah.
I
we
don't know how, but it did.
Atari. It just goes to show the company that caused the US gaming market crash are the same people who released that travesty.
I'm wondering if did the Jaguar CD even come out around here?
I don't know, and I don't
might
want to.
have.
I'll stop this.
Here's a
I'm
question.
gonna check.
If it ever came, did that thing actually work?
Well, it doesn't say
Anyway.
whether it came out in Europe.
Anyway,
So-
in the next part, we're gonna explore instead the guards' headquarters. See ya.
See you then, everybody.
Yeah.
See you then.